Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to episode 7 of Hearts of Iron 4. I've just realised that we didn't actually have any transport planes and that's not really going to help if we need to start dropping people over France and the Netherlands. So we're working on some planes at the moment. There seems to be some stuff going on over here. We have finished the motorised army, not sure what all these flashes are. Looks like there's a bit of a battle going on. Oh, it's a storm. It's actually weather effects, which is really nice. So we've got no national focus. We've completed motorised army. We can actually work on Royal Tank Regiment, which will give us 50% research bonus for armour technology. Let's go ahead and work on that then. We wanted to go and have a look at maybe working on some variants for our planes. We're now finishing research. We now have Marines. So some of the technology is a little bit ahead of time. We could go for mountain infantry for our special forces. Why not? We might as well research them while we can. So let's say that we want to go and look at... yeah, see, we've got motorised division now. We've got motorised division and we have Marines. So we've definitely got some options. What do we have in the motorised division? So the guys don't do an awful lot of combat, but they move around quite quickly. But yeah, motorised infantry, they've got recon company with them as well. And what about the Marines? We just have 3 units of Marines, which get a combat bonus in marshes, rivers, and amphibious. Okay, that's fine. Working on upgrades. What do we want? Production. Wanted to look at planes and possibly get some better bombers. We've got naval bombers. Maybe our next tech should be on better aircraft. We've got the interwar bomber. There's fighter baiting. There's the Vickers. So what if we wanted to create a variant here? So we could spend some points and just improve its ability to bomb and its range. So it does reduce its reliability slightly, but increases its operational range considerably. We can't actually afford to increase its bombing capacity. Let's go ahead and do that and just increase our bomber's ability to bomb. And how is that going to show? Is it the Mark 1? They both cost the same to build, so how do I know which one is which? Click to decommission this variant, marking it as outdated equipment. And I've just gone and deleted it by accident. Well, at least I know how that... I was wondering if it was something you could toggle on and off. I am making mistakes, but bear in mind, this is something that never gets explained to you at any point in the tutorial. So I'm literally just trying to work this out as I go along to see what works, basically. So it was the Mark 1, which is actually technically the Mark 2. So what we'd want to do is go and increase the bombing. We can still afford to do it. So we've used up all of our experience. So now we can actually work on the Mark II bombers. It was just strange that they're exactly the same cost. That's a little bit weird, but that's fine. I don't mind that too much. We have finished our research. We've got 2 free queues here. We could carry on down our doctrine tree for aircraft. 10% more ground support. That's not a bad idea. And let's have a look at getting some better aircraft, actually. So we've got tactical bombers. What we'd like to go for strategic bombers. Let's get some strategic bombers, actually. What do we need to get down onto these things? We need jet engines. We also want to really get our Hurricanes and Spitfires as soon as we can as well. I think we might actually concentrate on doing that. Yeah, let's work on the Hurricanes first, and then we'll work on the Spitfires. They worked fairly well for Britain in the war, as far as I recall. Not that I was actually present during the war. It was a little bit before my time, but... So we also have some naval experience we could use to upgrade our fleet. But again, I don't think there's a huge reason to do any of that. I'm actually going to run the risk of going up to Speed 4. And hoping that it doesn't make my game slow down horribly. We can modify our government again. That was pretty quick. We are working on some tanks. What if we wanted to get a tank designer? We can get Vickers in, which will increase the reliability and soft attack of our tanks. Do you know what? Let's go and do that. Let's make sure we are unpaused. Yep, still no template for the artillery. I am quite aware. Are we still... Yep, we are still exercising. You don't get a huge amount of experience for exercising. It's very, very little. Experience is capped at 500, like we're ever going to get there. Oh, would you look at that? It's raining in the UK. What a surprise. Who would believe it? How are things going with construction? Looks like we've finished those 2 spare military factories. No, we've got a couple here that we're working on. We did finish one of the military factories. And, oh no, it was a civilian factory. That was it. I moved the civilian factory to the top of the queue. So hopefully these things should get done relatively soon. How are we going with recruit and deploy? The tank brigades are getting there. They're still missing a little bit of equipment, but they're also training up at the same time. The paratroopers seem to be doing relatively well. They have all their equipment, but they are training up. So obviously the training takes a certain amount of time to get done. We have now finished the research on the King George V class battleship. That's good. So we can go ahead and work on another tech now. We could work on another ship. We work on better carriers. We can get the Royal class carrier. We do have some submarines. Got our very basic transport. Some of these other techs are a little bit ahead of time. What about naval doctrine? Are we working on any of these? Or do we want to start working on something else? Military police. What do military police actually give us? Suppression bonus. Regular troops may be able to manage occupation for a short period of time, but they are first and foremost soldiers. Integrating military police into our forces will ensure we have people on the ground to respond to resistance and investigate sabotage. So these are a support unit that can be added to an army. Field hospitals could be useful. Logistics company requires motorized technology, which we've got. Logistics company... among our ranks will ensure that support networks are leveraged to minimise waste. So, a higher recovery rate, more organisation, 10% less supply usage. That could be really useful. I think we'll go ahead and start researching those. So we've actually got some decent support units to mix in with our armies. That is, of course, if we end up ever getting enough army experience for me to create some decent division setups without me wasting the experience, which I know I've already done. But we're now into 1938. We're into January 1938. The world tension is at 28%. Sooner or later, we are going to have to start fighting. It is going to happen. We do have some air bases around. We could probably do with a few more. Do we not have an air base in Dover? We would like to have an air base, please. Oh, we're already full down here. Let's go and build one in the East Midlands, and we'll build another one in Gloucestershire. So we've got a couple of air bases in there as well. Again, we probably want to prioritise them. Not top priority. We still want that oil first and the military factory. But yeah, getting some more air bases will be useful for us. And this is always the difficulty as playing or of playing as Great Britain, is that you're an island nation, so you've got to rely on air and sea to get your infantry across. Trade. Is anybody actually trading with us right now? We are exporting. We're exporting quite a bit of rubber. We should be making a little bit from that. Research is all good. Diplomacy. We were sucking up with Ireland. How has that gone? British opinion of Ireland is 0%. Yeah, they don't really like us all that much. We could guarantee them independence. We currently guarantee 0 nations, and guaranteeing Ireland will then cost 25, whatever this is, I can never remember, political power. As each guarantee increases in cost. Let's go ahead and guarantee them independence. So that'll make them like me an awful lot more there. And they still wouldn't sign a non-aggression pact, oddly enough. They still wouldn't join a faction because of their neutral foreign policy. Our decryption is too low to get information about what they have already achieved in their national focus tree. Okay, that's fair enough. What have we got here in the world news? And you'll have to forgive my whatever terrible Austrian or German or whatever that word is. The Anschluss of Austria. After a successful coup d'etat by the local Nazi party in Vienna, German troops have crossed the Austrian border and taken control of the country. No fighting has been reported, and the German soldiers were greeted by cheering crowds in the cities. In a speech before the massive crowd at the Heldenplatz in Vienna, Hitler announced that the Anschluss of Austria annexing the country into Germany. The oldest eastern province of the German people shall be, from this point on, the newest bastion of the German Reich. This violates the Treaty of Versailles. Yeah, don't think the Germans really gave too much of a crap about that. We've finished our national focus. Which is the Royal Regiment of Tanks. We can now start working into General Regiment if we wanted to, and that will consumer goods factories minus 5%. So we'll be able to use our civilian factories for more of them for buildings and less of them for consumer goods. So let's start working down this tree for a little bit. We have 3 military factories. We have 1 remaining. We are getting behind on some of this stuff, but let's try and get the tanks filled in first, because we are trying to build some new tank regiments. We could even remove some from our transport planes if we want to. I think we're doing okay, though. I think we are actually getting stuff done. So I don't need to worry too much about all of that. I'm surprised that didn't actually... I was going to say I'm surprised that didn't bump the world tension up. It did actually bump the world tension up. We actually reduced the world tension slightly by... guaranteeing the independence of Ireland, which I don't mind doing. I mean, it doesn't matter if we slow down the world tension all that much. I think Germany can still just declare whenever they want to, so it's quite possible that they'll still pull the trigger on time. Now, what about Amsterdam and Brussels? Could we guarantee independence with them? Yeah, it does become more and more expensive the more people we guarantee. So we don't necessarily want to be going around just guaranteeing everybody. And also, we don't want the world tension to get that low, because we do want to actually get involved in the combat at some point. It would really be nice if Ireland would join the faction, but they really won't. They're currently working on Armament Effort 3. And they are a Republican party. But, yeah, they like us quite a bit, but we don't really like them at all at this point. Improving relations just makes them like me more. It doesn't make me like them more. It doesn't work like... Well, it works like it used to do in Europa Universalis 4, which is when you sent a diplomat to improve relations, it made them like you. But now, it makes them like you, but it also makes you like them to 50% the value. So if another nation is improving relations with you, you start to like them more, but they also like you more. But this is only one way, so they like us quite a lot because we've improved relations and we're guaranteeing them. But we don't really like them because we just don't have a reason to. We have 3 military factories. Let's go and put you onto the tanks. It does drop the efficiency slightly, but that will be fine. We do have 3 dockyards as well. Come to that. Because we are no longer working on transports. So I guess we probably could actually get ourselves a couple of those King George class battleships. Service manpower 6,000. That's a few. Let's go and work on 10 battleships, and we will use all 15 of our... Right, we have a bit of an oil deficit there, apparently. Insufficient resources. We can get some of that in. And we also want to work on some more transports, I think. Get some submarines, but where are our transports? Convoys. That's what we wanted, wasn't it? Convoys, not transports. Work on convoys. We want 5 factories in there. That doesn't require any oil, but we do have an oil deficit. Insufficient resources. Let's go to the United States. How much oil do we need? We're currently getting 3 from them. That should be enough. That's fine. Trade. Oil. Exported 26, imported 24. So we have a surplus of 5. But we are working on that... did we ever get that finished? That oil building, whatever it was. The synthetic refinery. I think we did. We could get another one of those built at some point. This wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's get one up in the Scottish Highlands. Be safe up there. And then we can go and high prioritise that one. We need to get some of this other stuff built as well, especially if the war is coming. Let's put the civilian factory first, because that will help getting things built. Obviously, we do have... we were up to 14 civilian factories on the second build slot, which is now down to 13, because we're trading away some of our civilian factories for resources. But that's fine. We're now into April of 38. Can't remember. This is really terrible now because my history is appalling for World War II. I can't remember the exact date it started on. I mean, obviously it's not going to start on the exact same date in the game. But the world tension needs to be higher, I think, for Germany to be able to pull the trigger. So we'll see how that goes. We do have some units. Of course, some of these units aren't actually in the army. So what we might want to do is add these paratroopers to the army. We've also got our... Oh. National focus completed. General recruitment. Let's go ahead and start a... In fact, let's do another thing. Let's remove the cavalry from this army. Let's remove all the tank regiments from this army. So this is and the paratroopers. So this is just infantry divisions. In fact, there was another group of paratroopers in there. Okay. So let's now, with the game pause, select everything that isn't infantry. So paratroopers, cavalry, tanks, paratroop. Oh, why is it not allowing me to select more than one thing? Got to hold shift. Okay, shift not control. So that one, cavalry there, tanks, cavalry. That seems to be about it. Have I missed anything? Not that I can see. Anything that's not getting attrition, possibly. We do have some more infantry up there, so do you know what? You can join as well. And we'll go ahead and assign you to an army. We'll go ahead and give you to a general. And you guys can exercise as well. And you're the same colour for some reason. Let's go ahead and give you... let's make you yellow. And you've got a different icon. There we go. Just so we've got some different colours with our army. Can modify our government again. Wow. Military command. Do we need any of this thing? Division recovery rate plus 8%. Infantry attack and defense. You might be useful to have around. Let's have you on there. No, we're not at war yet, but I think that will be useful. Shadow scheme. Yeah, we're not too bothered about that one. So air rearmament or naval rearmament. So 25 air experience and we gain a load of air bases. Nice. Or we gain a load of dockyards. We've already got a lot of dockyards that we're not using, so let's go for the air rearmament. Following will bypass the focus. Not enough building slots for airbase, so we should be okay. So that's fine. What have we got going on? Oh, I must have been looking at another country. I was seeing some things that I didn't expect up here. Oh, was it this tab? Yes, this one. Yeah, British austerity. Consumer goods factories minus 5%. So we're getting a lot of decent stuff. We are still paused, which we don't want to happen. So how is our experience going up now? 0.39 daily. It's not an awful lot, really, is it, when you think about it? It's quite low. But all of our units should be part of an army and therefore should be gaining some experience. Now, I'm not too sure when would be the right time to redeploy. It's not like we can just go and sit in France and wait for Germany to mobilise. Don't even know where any of Germany's units are because we can't see anything. How are things with Poland? Poland don't particularly like us at the moment. Let's go and improve relations with Poland. That can't be a bad thing, surely. Republican Spain has military access to Poland. Would be nice if we could actually see what was going on. I don't think there's any way to do that. Could we coup on somebody like Ireland? How well would that work? Stage a coup. They're already democratic, so it's not needed to coup them. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. It would be nice if we could bring Ireland into the mix, but I just don't think that is going to happen. But we'll continue to play on and allow the world tension to rise. We've spent all of our area experience, but we will gain some more when the current focus is done. What about our research? We're quite close to finishing a few of these. We'll have mountain infantry in a couple of days, along with the low echelon support and the Hurricane. So then we can work on the Spitfires. There's our mountain infantry. We'll just wait for the other two. There we go. So let's go and get our... No, Spitfire's actually ahead of time. So let's go and work on the Wellington bomber. And then if we look under our support battalions, and I'm thinking it might be nice to get the field hospitals as well. So let's go and work on that. Then we've got one more free slot over here. What about industry? Can we speed anything up? Obviously these ones are mutually exclusive. Resource gain efficiency. I mean, that could be useful. We wouldn't need to import as much oil then. Production efficiency cap plus 10%. Yes, I think we should definitely work on that one. And now we actually have some research in engineering. Because this is engineering industry efficiency. Then maybe we want to get somebody in our government that improves that. But we'll have to wait until we get enough political power again before that can happen. But I think that's a good point to end the video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Hearts of Iron 4. I'll see you next time, and until then, goodbye for now.